Welcome back to the show. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show. You can follow us on X, YouTube, and DigPerspectives.com for exclusive content. Right now, $3.37 trillion market cap for crypto. The market's up 1.6. We see Bitcoin right now up 105,000 plus, Ethereum 2,400 plus, XRP number 4 spot, $2.18. Now we're up 7.4 in the 24 and off 1.7 on the 7-day. Range of price very quickly between 197 and 221. We will keep an eye on it. I want to tell you about this. Now, I've been talking to you about iTrustCapital and the new PCA accounts, but I want to spend a second here talking about the IRAs for a minute today. Now, I have been with iTrustCapital, I think going on 6 years now. Absolutely love them. And I tell you, I always feel my assets are safe on that platform because they have been and they will continue to be. But I'm telling you about the IRAs because it's a remarkable moment we have coming up. Now, one, let me just say, look, you get a $100 free funding bonus if you're a new client. That's fantastic. But let me just say this, okay? We are about to experience the largest bull run in the history of crypto. And I believe, if I'm correct, that that will be because of United States legislation being passed and signed into law, which I have said for years will be the catalyst to this space breaking open. The true embrace of the innovation is passing and signing legislation into law. With that being said, I want to say this. You have the potential with an IRA to get your IRA. Now, you could roll over your 401k, your 403b, your 457, and more. Imagine right now you rolling over your 401k or any other product that you have into your IRA, for which you have a back office to, and you have the power to buy and sell inside of that back office, all while staying inside your IRA, and then potentially witnessing the largest bull run in cryptocurrency now that you've moved your 401k, 403b, and 457 over into that, and it's tax-free in your IRA or tax-deferred, however you want to say it, whichever one you got. That, to me, is absolutely remarkable. What an opportunity is in front of us. So I hope you take advantage of it. iTrustCapital.com/XRP Army, and the code at the bottom, XRP6. XRP6. Click the link under any video and get started today. It's a remarkable opportunity. It truly is. Starting right here, Glint says Texas just changed the future of money. Gold and silver are now legal currency, ladies and gentlemen. Take a listen to Jason
I
Cousins.
couldn't wait to tell you, so I'm filming this from the outdoor gym. Today, Texas has made history. Governor Abbott has just signed Bill 1056, officially recognizing gold and silver in electronic payments as constitutional currency. But this isn't just symbolic, because Texas isn't just talking about sound money, it's backing it with action. Trust by holding gold reserves in the Texas Gold Depository. Protection from any future federal overreach or asset seizure, and a path towards ending federal capital gains tax on gold as currency. What's more, this isn't just for Texans. All Americans will be able to use a gold currency authorized by the state of Texas.
That is truly remarkable. Look at the smile on Jason's face. He's worked so hard. Listen, if you haven't tried Glint Pay out for yourself, you need to check it out. Go to Glint and check out Glint Pay, or go to Glint Pay and find out more. Sign up, open your account. You won't believe it. It's absolutely remarkable what he's done. And it's remarkable now to see the states in the United States starting to turn his way with this whole entire embrace. No capital gains on tax on gold as money, state protection from federal seizure, and gold-backed payments. It's here, ladies and gentlemen. Things are happening. Loving this. And here we see this in. Trump says interest rates should be at least 2 or 3 points lower than where they are. And he says this because too late Jerome Powell of the Fed will be in Congress today in order to explain, among other things, why he's refusing to lower the rate. Europe has had 10 cuts. We've had 0. No inflation, great economy. we should be at least 2 or 3 points lower, would save the USA $800 billion a year, plus what a difference this would make if things late change to the negative, increase the rates. I hope Congress really works with this very dumb, hard-headed person over. We will be paying for his incompetence for many years to come. The board should activate Make America Great Again. Look, so there's the pounding of the drum, ladies and gentlemen. And then what do we know is going on in conjunction with looking for the rate cuts? And if we get rate cuts, I think everyone to a person says the markets are going to go ballistic, right? And we could see rate cuts next month to get that going. And at the same time, next month, we're also going to see the implementation of ISO 20022 messaging format across the board, many platforms, including Swift, Fedwire, and everything else. And then while that's happening, the U.S. Director of Federal Housing Agency, Bill Pulte, says the agency is looking to explore how cryptocurrency holdings could count toward mortgage qualification requirements. Hello, how about that one? And then this from Cody Carbone, the president of the Digital Chamber, says the Federal Reserve is dropping vague reputational risk from bank exams. Green light for banks to serve crypto clients without fear of being penalized for image concerns. And this is the actual post right here that says Monday announced that reputational risk will no longer be a component of examination programs and its supervision of its banks. It goes on to say, obviously, banks still need to operate above board and what have you, but this is really the crux of the crock here. In the memo released yesterday, the central bank says it will remove the term which lawmakers credit with playing a major role in the debanking of crypto firms and other businesses from exam manuals and train examiners to focus on special financial risks instead. If the Fed is the last of the major banking regulators to get rid of the term. So there you have it. It is finally gone, and the door will begin to open. And what do we know? That going all the way back to 2014, we know Ripple Labs has been in the room. Future clearing, ladies and gentlemen. They've been in the room with the Federal Reserve since 2014, right? And what else do we know? The G7 and the G8, along with the U.S. Faster Payments Council, which is the Federal Reserve, acknowledge that in order to do this right and get the G7 and G20, by 27 and 2030 targets right, they need to partner with fintechs and startups innovating in cross-border payments such as RippleNet and Stellar. So now we're not just guessing that it's us, it's us. And they're speaking that to the largest economies of the world, the G20. And then we have David Andelfato years ago at the Fed acknowledging Ripple coexist in the U.S. payment system.
David, fantastic presentation.
Thank you.
I'm one of the fellows who raised his hand when you asked who uses Ripple, Joe and myself. And I just want to say, it's very, I'm very happy to see that someone at the St. Louis Fed respects it at the very least. And I'm sure that from all the good things you said about it, many people in this room would like to hear more. But you mentioned that you foresee peer-to-peer currency-agnostic payment clearance systems such as Ripple coexisting with institutions such as central banks in the United States. And my question is, how are we going to see that happen? What is it going to take?
So thank you very much. And, all the nice things I said about Ripple, everybody knows to short it. Well, how do I see it? I mean, like you said, Ripple is a currency agnostic platform. It really doesn't care too much about creating and managing its money supply, although it does have its native money supply. So, it's doing, the way I exposited the idea, Ripple is handling the processing of payments for many of the world's unbanked people. Okay, and that the Fed is one institution that's providing a type of currency that people could use as payment using the Ripple protocol. But there may be other currencies. There could be Bitcoin, there could be the yen. So, I mean, I see room for coexistence. I mean, I see it today. I don't see any reason to doubt why it might not continue in the future.
And it will continue, and it has continued in the future. That's what all of this is about. This is from January of 25. This was from years ago. It is absolutely staying in line that they are collaborating in cooperation with one another. And then here we see the reminder of ISO 20022, June to July. What do we have? The DTCC making the same announcement, ladies and gentlemen. And what do we also know? That Hidden Road, recently acquired by Ripple, also are being a new participant in the netting system for Government Securities Division of FICC, which means the netting system in helping to clear and settle. That's what the netting system is. And then a reminder, Standard Chartered says tokenizing U.S. Treasuries, private credit could unlock trillions in value. And what do we know about them? Here's Bill Winters from Standard Chartered talking about how they used 5 years ago.
Going back 5 years, we had digital currency underpinned trade finance and money settlement systems, and using as a medium of exchange, using things like Ripple's XRP, for example, as a medium to effect real-time cross-border payments.
That was 5 years ago. And now they're talking about tokenized treasuries and private credit could unlock trillions. And we know that Ripple and XRP are certainly in the conversation because they're also working inside of the DTC. We also know that the Fed is working with them and the G20 are looking at working with them. That's how deep this runs, ladies and gentlemen. And then what do we see here? Cody Carbone accents this post here. He says, we said it from the start at the Digital Chamber. The path to Bitcoin adoption begins by removing outdated tax barriers. These burdens weren't passed by Congress, but by agency guidance. It's time to reverse them. This is all on the post by Senator Lummis here, and former Congressman Mike Rogers said, we must pass an exemption to allow Americans to use Bitcoin for small everyday purchases without triggering burdensome tax reporting. Well, that reminded me of this, ladies and gentlemen, right here.
Day two is to deliver on some of Trump's digital asset promises, a strategic reserve, a crypto council, and perhaps a capital gains relief for digital asset transactions. And perhaps a capital gains relief for digital asset transactions.
Now, that's going to be interesting because I floated this, and we know we've talked about U.S. domiciled assets having zero cap gains. Or will it be that retailers get a small allowance for no cap gains on a certain amount of expenditure every day? Or will it be all across the board? Or will it just be that money transmitter license holders, payment providers, and banks and financial institutions get zero cap gains, but not anyone else? I don't know, but that's what we're staring down the barrel of, ladies and gentlemen. We'll keep an eye on it. And then there's this very quickly. Arthur Britto, co-founder of the XRP Ledger, who actually literally had just posted after 14 years of nothingness. He breaks his silence with a post with just a face with nothing on it but eyes. Interesting. After 14 years inactive since 2011, Arthur Britto's just shared their first post on X after 14 years. Meet one of the key visionaries who helped shape the XRP Ledger, no question about it. And just talking about shaping it here, looking forward, XRP Ledger needs to be able to scale to 7.5 billion people. Yeah, that's a big deal. He's not out of the shadows for nothing, I say. Head on a swivel. This is also something Arthur Britto said years ago in 2013. I believe Ripple will eventually support bonds in the bond market. Remember this? Ondo Finance bringing tokenized stocks or tokenized bonds, U.S. Treasuries, to the XRP Ledger. Not financial advice from me or anyone else, but maybe something even bigger is coming. I'll catch all of you on the next one.